So an API is an application programming interface which is used in many scenarios by the software companies. Like for example, you will get the understanding by this example. So let's say you want to make the application. Let's say you want to make the application for the food delivery application. So your application will take the orders, and delivery boys will be notified and they have to deliver the order at the destination. So in this application you will definitely need the map function. Like you want to show the map where the delivery boy is going and currently where its location is. So for this purpose, if you want to implement the map yourself, you need to launch your own satellite and then set up all the map functions and then integrate in this and test again it. So it's so difficult. So for that reason we use API. API is an application programming interface which lets you use the services as your service which are already available in the market. Like for example, if you want to integrate the maps inside your food delivery application, you don't need to create your own map service or own map functions in your application. You can just take another application's map services into your application. So for example, if you want to make the food delivery application, so you want to implement the map inside your application. So let's say you instead creating your own application service, you just take the Google Maps API. So if you use the Google Map API, if you use the Google Maps API service, you can directly integrate it in your application. So when you integrate the Google Map in your application, you just have to pay the monthly bill. You have to pay the monthly or yearly subscription for the API, and you will use the Google Map services in your application as your services. So when you see the food delivery applications like Zomato or Zomato or Swiggy, they use the Google Map services. So they use the Google Map services in their application. So this is the work of API. So you can use the other services which are already available into your applications. So when you use in your application, you don't need to create your own services, and with the ease you can use the services like this. Not only the Google Map services, you can use any other services. Like if you want to suppose if you want to upload any files, if you want to integrate any upload file services into your application, you can use the API for upload thing for upload thing file upload services for you, where you can use 2 GB for free, and other services like kind authentication kind authentication or another services like convex convex backend service for the backend server. So like this you can use the different API services, and to learn the API you can use the basic API key which is provided by the open weather. So for the from the open weather you can use the API key to make the weather application of your own app. So you can make your own weather application with the help of this open weather API key. It's free to use, so you can use it and you can make it your own application. Actually, what it does is it just suppose it's your application and it is the service provider which you are using the API of, like Google. So if you want to show the app in your application, so you say you want to send a request. So you will send a request each time you want to show the map. You will send a request to the server through the API, and API will fetch the data. API will fetch the data which is required. Then data will come inside the from the with the help of API into your application. When you send a request in the exchange, you get the response. To send a request, you get the response where your system is a client, act as a client. Okay, so your system act as a client, and the other system act as a server. So each time your application sends the API request to the server, it fetches the data and gives the data to you, which is the response. So that's all.